Hey y'all, my tip for this month is ChatGPT and Gemini and why I'm using both of them. I came back from family reunion along with my husband, and he had attended an AI breakout session and just started using Gemini. And I honestly have not been experimenting with it, but then I heard Gary Vee say that Google's not going to let Gemini fail and that they're pushing it every time you do a Google search. Sometimes you fall into Gemini, and that it can actually work with some of the Google tools. So, like if you have a Google Drive and Sheets and stuff like that, it can search through your email and your Google Drive. So, I thought I'm going to experiment with this, but I don't want to take the time that it takes to train it. I've already taken loads of time training Chat GPT, and so it said I did not have to train it because I can download what's called a JSON file from ChatGPT into Gemini. And so that's what I did. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I have not given up on ChatGPT. I am experimenting with which one helps me the best. I'm noticing that ChatGPT is really good at making lists and creating more like content oriented stuff like for newsletters, whereas I don't know, ChatGPT seems more formal. I don't know. That's kind of odd to say or describe. And it keeps wanting to ask me things production wise. Like it wants to know what my production goals are and how it can help me find out who to call next. So it's kind of a different spin. And that's what's fun about playing with these large language models. You might be able to have two large language models with the same training, but use them for different things depending on the situation. So let's get into showing you how to download your JSON files, and then you can upload them into Gemini and start playing around with it. Okay, so I actually started a chat because my husband went and bought Gemini Pro, and I wasn't quite sure how it related to Chat GPT. So since I'm so familiar with Chat GPT, so just kind of asked it like, what's the difference? Like ChatGPT has their custom GPTs. That's what Gems do out here. And ChatGPT has projects where Gemini really doesn't. And this is where it told me how to, it gave me instructions because I said that I wanted to do the JSON method in training it, right? And then if there were any gaps, it could ask me questions and I would fill it in. And so this is where it gave me the instructions on how to go get the information out of ChatGPT. Now, I'm going to say that apparently I use ChatGPT a lot because when I did this, it took a whole day before I got my data. I don't know if that's because it's a lot of data or if that's just how slow ChatGPT is, but you're going to come down at the bottom here where your settings are, and you're going to go to the data controls. And right here where it says export, you just hit export, and ChatGPT will tell you, good news. We're going to export the data and send you an email. So they sent me an email saying that they were working on it. And then the next day I got the email saying I could download it. So I downloaded it. It was all zipped up in a lovely file. And if you look at it, you're like, oh my gosh, where do I go? Because that's a lot of information. I don't know what to download and what not to. So I went back to good old Gemini, and it's telling me to go look for the conversation JSON file. And if we open this up a tick, we can scroll down until we find where that is, because it should say conversation JSON. So I literally copied these or took these conversation JSONs and hit this little plus button and uploaded it. And then I asked it because I saw this wonderful user JSON file down here at the bottom, and I asked it if it needed it because there's a user settings JSON, and it said no, it did not need it. But it did give me, and I'm not going to show the complete chat of what it told me, but it gave me some more instructions if it's too large and all that stuff, because then I could upload one file at a time. Anyways, I uploaded it, and I did it actually in this separate chat because it told me to go to a separate chat and do it. So I didn't do it in this one. I did my AI migration user profile analysis over here. So it actually went through and it told me what were in those JSON files. It referenced the business planning conversations that I had. It referenced, I uploaded the KPA and the desk profiles, and it knew who was on my teams. So it was literally my ChatGPT's brain uploaded into this brain. And now I am starting to experiment with this because in this conversation, I started having conversations around goal setting because it did ask me some questions to fill in some gaps, like what is my goal setting for now, and am I on pace for it? And I started talking to it about how many, here's what was cool about it though. I have a pipeline that is a Google Sheet that we have like who is a potential lead versus who's actually signed a buyer brokerage agreement or a listing agreement, whether or not it's active, whether or not it's under contract, and what's sold. And I told it to go find that file and analyze it. So I didn't have to download it and upload it. I just told it to go find it. And it was really my husband that gave me the idea to do this because he actually uses the email system in his Mac. It is connected to a Gmail account, but he uses the Mac. Like he plugged Gmail into his Mac email. And he didn't actually go into Gmail, although you can do this in Gmail now using Gemini. You can ask it to find an email and it will go find it for you. So this is why I was excited about experimenting with Gemini. If you're a big Chat GPT user, experiment with what one gives you versus the other. Correct them when they're wrong. And if they don't give you what you like, because honest to goodness, Gemini kept saying, do you want me to research your email so that I can find who you need to call next? And I'm like, slow your roll. Like, I'm not there yet. I'm trying to make a to-do list, but it's like trying to get me into production. So I may go over to ChatGPT to create my to-do list and come back into Gemini when I'm lead generating. So I hope you found that helpful. And of course, if you need help in the greater Atlanta area, reach out and I will see you next month. Bye.